What's up, guys? I'm going to keep this video short and sweet, but I just came back from the North American International Championships where I had the worst tournament performance of my career. I started 0-3, which I have never done, and I didn't really bounce back mentally from that. I did get a win the next round, but round 5 was just equally as rough, and it was a day that will haunt me probably forever. Felt like a pretty big disappointment to myself, to everybody, to the standard that I've set, and I figured it'd be good to talk about just because I don't want everyone worrying about me, and I don't want to sit here and stew in it just to get it off my chest, basically. But I'm going to talk about the list that I played. I played the same 60-card list as Isaiah Bradner, Justin Bakari, and John Eng, who all three finished in the top 16 of the North American International Championship. Isaiah getting 2nd, Justin getting 15th, and John getting 10th. And I went 0-3, or I guess 1-4 technically. But show you guys the list, talk a little bit about it, and then I'll talk about my report. So the deck had a 3-3 Palkia, a 3-3, 1 Inteleon line, 1 Radiant Greninja, 1 Manaphy, and a Zigzagoon. A lot of people will be very confused about the 3 Palkia and the 3 Sobble, but though they're both completely fine unless you prize 2 of them, and the Heavy Ball, which then it becomes a really big problem because a lot of the time you want your board to be 2 Palkia, 2 Sobble, a Greninja, plus either the Manaphy or the Goon. A lot of the time we use the Goon proactively to get damage onto the board or just make big moves out of it. So it wasn't really an issue. There was a few times we ran out of Pokemon, but if we played around Avery or knew that Avery existed, it was super manageable, I think, in almost every matchup. So the list was super good. Fort Irida, this was a card that we overlooked definitely in our testing for Milwaukee. So adding Fort Irida with the 4 VIP Pass and 4 Switcher gave us a really strong turn 1, because that's what I think this deck has the biggest issue with, which is like your turn 1 setup. And if your turn 1 setup actually happens, I think you have a good chance to beat pretty much every deck in the format, even your direct counters, which is like a testament to how strong Palkia actually is. So we had the 1 Melanie, 1 Boss, 1 Marnie, 1 Roxanne. We opted to play a Marnie because a lot of the decks in the format, a lot of Palkias didn't play Marnie in Milwaukee. We felt like Marnie would give us a chance to actually cheese some games or even make some plays from a position behind us. All that stuff. There was 3 Quick Ball, 3 Incense, 3 Bucket, definitely change from Milwaukee, something we really liked. 3 Net, 2 Bubble Ball, 1 Heavy Ball, a Palpad, a Horn, a Scrapper, a Choice Belt, a Court, Path, and 7 Water. The Scrapper was in here because, I woke up to this, but Isaiah was saying that if we hit like a Jolteon deck or something, rather than having just Jammer, having the way to Irida for a Scrapper is also a way to play the game still, which made a lot of sense. The Horn is a card that I think we were all very sold on because the Horn won us a ton of games in Milwaukee. Especially in Mirror, you can pull things back and go for big one-shots. Like we can go Horn, Goon, Goon Net, Goon one-shot, or Horn, Choice Belt one-shot. Just stuff like that in general. Heavy Ball was one of the MVPs of the day. Not for me, of course, but for everybody else. 2 Level Ball, 3 Incense, all that stuff. List was very cut and dry. So tournament kicks off. I go up against Ahmed Ali, a very good player. And in the first game, it's Palkia Mirror. In the first game, Ahmed catches me off guard with an Avery, which isn't too impactful, but it happens. And then it eventually gets to a point where I can't play around this, like, I'm thinking in my mind, I can't play around Horn. So I net up another Pokemon to make sure that he doesn't get the damage from the Horn. Because I'm assuming everyone plays Horn at this point. That's a good player, probably. And Ahmed and I have talked pre-event, so I know he was like eyeing up something close to our Milwaukee list. So I netted up a Pokemon to play on this, and Ahmed was able to get me with a Leon Horn combo, which I didn't expect to happen to me. So it was a little bit unfortunate. But Leon Horn got me game 1, plus the Avery, so Ahmed got me pretty cheekily. And then game 2, my opening hand was pretty bad. So it was basically like I went 2nd. I think I had Iridas, no pass, like nothing like that. So it was just like a Sobble pass kind of thing or like a Greninja pass. I don't remember exactly. But I basically missed energy attachments. I was a turn behind and I still thought it was super winnable. But there was this one really crucial turn where I think like nothing was happening. It was like maybe turn 3 or 4. And my hand had like literally no way to get energy. And I remember like, I had like a drizzled, like Irida. I had a level ball for a drizzle to get an energy, and I drizzled, and I looked, and all my buckets were prized, and I was like, that's unreasonable, like that's unreal. So I was like an energy attachment behind the whole game, and then eventually when he got me with the Roxanne, I couldn't do anything because I would need Melanie on that turn, or like there was a turn where I needed Melanie and Roxanne kind of thing because I was one energy attachment behind the whole game. So I started the day 0-1. The next round I went up against Miguel, who was playing Flying Pikachu Arceus. The first game was just like open Palkia, draw for turn. I went first, I think, too. Like, no, I went second. It was like he went open Pika, attach, pass, and I was like, okay, cool, we might have a chance. I went open Palkia, like bench Palkia with an Irida. No Irida. It was just like a quick ball for the Palkia, attach and energy, go. Like, I thought maybe I could be greedy with the Greninja, but I was like, if I miss, I lose. So I kind of played it super safe, so maybe that was a mistake. But then Miggy went attach, DTE, evolve, bench like an RCS research or something, and then pop me and path at the same time, and my court was prized. So game 1 ended pretty quickly. Game 2, he opened Zigzagoon and passed, I think. No. He opened Hisuian Decidueye and passed, actually, the V. And then I knocked it out on my turn, too. So I had a pretty good start, actually. I got to play the game. And then game 3, I went Manaphy pass. So, yeah, that was rough. He went first into me going Manaphy pass. Sorry, let me elaborate. And then the third round I went up against DJ, who was playing Arceus, Malamar, VMAX, Jolteon, and game 1, I think DJ had like a pretty insane start with the Arceus, the Eevee, and the Malamar out on turn 1 into a turn 2 Jolteon lock, and my Scrapper was prized in the first game, so I didn't even have a chance to play the game. So I played like 2 turns just to see what was in DJ's deck, but I mean, those 3 turns were pretty wasted because all I saw was like a second Roxanne. And I think it was still like 4 money, 4 path or whatever, but I picked it up pretty quickly. And then the second game, I made it a game because even though I missed really heavily on turn 1. So again, it was like I was going second I made the Scrapper play, and I think DJ had already discarded a capsule. So I think I thought I caught him with his pants down. And I got a turn of like abilities again after the Scrapper turn. And I thought I could keep playing, but then it was a Roxanne path capsule again. And I was just like, okay, I lost. So even though it felt like I had a chance in that game, it really was unwinnable from the beginning with the way my hands were going. So it was 0-3, and just super, super heartbreaking. I walked to lunch break, and I remember I was probably actively fighting back tears because I've never had a tournament go this poorly for me. Yeah, I just haven't fully processed what I'm feeling still. But I'm looking ahead to Worlds, obviously, and I have 7 weeks to kind of get it together and have a performance. So next round I want to get to Pokedad. Now I'm playing for points because I need to keep my stipend for Worlds, and I know that I have to do everything in my power. And so I go up against a Pokedad from my area, Brandon. It's Emmett's dad from Florida, and Brandon plays it like a little poorly. And I kind of like catch him a couple times with like a couple mistakes he made, and that basically gave me the game. But a lot of bad hands for me again. The whole time I was thinking in my head, I'm going to lose this set. I've already lost this set. Like, my mental was completely fried at this point in the tournament. So yeah, and then round 5 I go up against, I forget their name, but they were really, really friendly and fun to play against. And it was like counterbox, and then game 1 I didn't expect it to be counterbox, and like my lone Palkia got one shot by Raikou on turn 2. And I was like, cool, I lost. And then game 2, I opened Zigzagoon. I think it was bucket, water, net, switcher. And I attached, passed, and lost. So, sayonara. And that was my tournament. I dropped, and it was, yeah. So, obviously I'm not looking for pity or anything. I know that I could have done better. There's a lot of things I probably could have done differently. Didn't matter what deck it was, I probably would have a day like that again, just given the circumstances of how I drew. But the list was amazing. Shout out to the 3 guys that played it with me and did a fantastic job in the tournament. Obviously hurts a lot to be the one who couldn't do anything. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I mean, I'll have the vlog and stuff uploaded. I may take a couple days of a break just to kind of mentally reset, but when I'm back, we'll start looking at the Pokemon Go set, thinking about Worlds and like a metagame review of what happened this past weekend. I just need a couple days to kind of process everything. So I appreciate you guys for the support as always. Thank you to everyone who came this weekend to say hi, pictures, autographs, whatever. It really makes me feel special, and like I love this community a lot. I love you guys a lot. Everyone means a lot to me. Thank you so much.